The beginning of Outlander Season 7, Episode 15, features an important historical painting, though a few changed details make this little Easter egg all the more intriguing. Each episode of Outlander includes a small clip that comes just after the opening song. Following the Skyboat song, a short, typically silent scene ends out the rolling credits, and there generally are clues here regarding prominent moments in the coming episode. In the case of Outlander Season 7, Episode 15, the title clip focuses on a painting from the real world, but this is so much more than a look at historical art. The Outlander episode, written in my own heart's blood, sees the official start of the Battle of Monmouth. Jamie was promoted to Brigadier General in the lead-up to this significant battle in the Revolutionary War, so he had an entire 300-person battalion to lead against the British Army. As usual, Claire serves as a medic, patching up soldiers injured during the fighting at a church turned into a field hospital. Seeing Outlander's characters take part in real historical battles is always a highlight of the series, and the opening scene of Episode 15 drove this home with its memorable painting. The painting featured in Outlander Season 7, Episode 15 is Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth. The painting in Outlander is a real work of art from 1854. Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth. In this Outlander clip, a man and a young girl are seen looking at a painting in a museum. This real-world painting, Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth, via the Francis Tavern Museum, features a battle scene. British and Continental soldiers alike are seen strewn across the ground while a woman stands ready before a cannon. The oil-on canvas artwork was painted by Dennis Malone Carter in 1854 and is named for the common term given to women who would carry water to soldiers on the battlefield. Molly Pitcher wasn't any one woman, but the figure depicted in this painting is based on a real person. During the Battle of Monmouth, which took place on June 28, 1778, in New Jersey, a woman named Mary Ludwig Hayes was carrying water through the battlefield when she saw her husband collapse. Hayes then took over the cannon her husband had been manning since it would otherwise have to be recalled without soldiers to operate it. She kept the cannon firing for the remainder of the battle, and, in recognition of this, George Washington later honored Hayes by making her a non-commissioned officer. Unfortunately, Hayes wasn't featured in Outlander Season 7, Episode 15, but Outlander Season 7 characters are featured in the painting. Outlander's version of this painting features Jamie and Claire. The Outlander painting has some differences. Jamie and Claire featured in a painting in Outlander. The real Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth painting differs significantly from the one featured in Outlander. Rather than a shirtless man bracing Hayes' cannon, Sam Heughan's Jamie Fraser is seen in his uniform commanding his Continental battalion. Additionally, rather than a soldier leaning over his fellow fallen warrior, Outlander's version of the Molly Pitcher painting sees Catriona Balfe's Claire Fraser seeing to the man's injuries. This is a fun added detail since it rewrites history to include Outlander's protagonists. Fictional characters placed in real historical paintings make the fantasy series feel even more immersive, like Jamie and Claire truly existed and participated in the Battle of Monmouth. However, even more intriguing than this are the people seen looking at Outlander's version of Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth in the episode opening. Frank and Brianna can be seen looking at the painting in the Outlander opening. Frank must have noticed Jamie and Claire. Frank and Brianna looking at a painting in Outlander. The two people looking at Jamie and Claire in the Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth painting have their backs turned to the camera in the Outlander opening scene. However, they are still pretty recognizable. The man is obviously meant to be Tobias Menzies' Frank Randall, and if there is any doubt in this, the young red-headed girl by her side is confirmation enough. This young version of Brianna is likely a preteen, and the idea here is that father and daughter saw this historical painting in person at a museum, likely the Francis Tavern Museum in New York City. What is particularly interesting about this is that Frank would surely have recognized Claire and Jamie in the painting. Claire was his wife, and he had posted sketches of Jamie's face all over Inverness after Claire's initial disappearance, after seeing the man's ghost. Of course, as a historian, Frank would also know that the Battle of Monmouth happened decades after the Battle of Culloden when Claire left the past to return to the 20th century. His wife's presence in Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth would have been further evidence that Claire would jump through time again after reuniting with Frank. On the other hand, Brianna had never met Jamie Fraser and wouldn't have considered that the woman bent over a fallen soldier in the painting could be her mother. Still, it's interesting that Brianna saw evidence of her mother's time-traveling adventures without realizing it. This reveal in Outlander Season 7, Episode 15, is especially meaningful since Brianna herself has jumped back into her time-traveling adventures in this episode. Still, there are several more layers to this painting's appearance in the Starz fantasy series. What this scene means in Outlander Season 7, Episode 15 explained. This clip makes up for a cut book moment. Outlander Season 7, Episode 15, is all about the Battle of Monmouth, so it makes sense that the opening would feature the most famous painting associated with this historical event. However, it goes beyond just this. Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth is all about the contributions of women to the Revolutionary War, named for those who brought much-needed water to the battlefield and the specific woman who joined the fight. This Outlander episode saw Claire get shot by a stray bullet while serving the cause. As a woman contributing to the Continental Army, the painting is also an ode to Claire.